In a land full of magic and hot princesses, King Albert of the King Alfredin and his pals, including Prime Minister Mark, are dealing with a big problem. So they decide to summon a hero from another world, but surprise, just like with every anime summon, they mess up and get themselves Souma, a bit of a loser and a loner searching for tips on being a cool Sigma male in a library when he's summoned. Anyway, we can't blame them too much. In a world with magic, who knows? Maybe a wannabe Sigma male is exactly what they need. As Souma pops into the scene, King Albert, who looks like a budget version of Keanu Reeves from Wish.com, gets all chatty. He goes on about demons showing up 10 years back and taking over their northern territories. While the rest of the kingdom is doing a decent job handling the invasion, it's burning a hole in their pockets. You know, armies are expensive and inflation is a real pain in the butt. So the Alfredin kingdom, faced with a major money crisis and lacking a sugar mama to bail them out, decides to get a bit creative. They pull a sketchy move that smells a lot like human trafficking and decide to sell Kazuya to the Grand Chaos Empire while painting him as a hero. Real capper. Poor Souma has no clue what being a hero even means in this world. He's sweating so much it even starts in his bum, fearing they might dissect him just to figure out why he's their so-called hero. To his relief, King Albert and Minister Mark deny any such plans, but that they just makes him more suspicious of their true motives. He finds himself stuck in a tough spot, wondering what on earth he should do. After pondering for a while, a light bulb flickers in Souma's head. He musters up the courage to ask the king if he can bring in some backup, other people from his world. However, the last time the kingdom tried something like that was 500 years ago, so Souma would have to twiddle his thumbs and wait for half a millennium if he wants to summon some buddies. Also, summoning someone in this world is about as rare as finding an extrovert weeb. Realizing his uniqueness, Souma can't help but think he's some kind of rare gem they stumbled upon. With that in mind, he decides to channel his inner hotshot and start delivering a speech to the gathered crowd, desperately trying to save his ass. Souma thinks he can work some magic on their economic mess, but being the supposed hero and all, he asks them to spill the beans on their financial situation. You know, show him the numbers so he can wrap his head around their plight. He's convinced he can turn things around. So for the next 3 days, our financial wizard, teaming up with Prime Minister Mark and King Albert, dives into piles of financial records. It's like a student cramming for exams the night before, sifting through notes as if they hadn't studied in a month. The next day, Souma, looking like a corporate slave, finds himself standing beside the king. To everyone's shock, King Albert drops the bombshell. He's giving up his throne and passing it on to Souma. The news hits Souma like a ton of bricks, and his mouth hangs wide open in disbelief. Meanwhile, the king's wife shoots him a horny smile at him and raises more questions than answers. Then King Albert takes a step further and declares an engagement between Souma and his daughter, the lovely Lisha. The sudden announcement leaves everyone in the kingdom wide-eyed, and with a flick of his royal hand, the throne of Alfredin is handed over to Souma, complete with the bonus gift of the king's daughter. So the news spreads far and wide, reaching even the 3 dukes who lead the kingdom's army's forces. One duke is a devil, another a stunning water muscle mummy, and the third a lion with a human body. However, I wonder, what does the glow stick of a lion-human combo look like? Is it more lion or more human? Anyways, then we switch scenes to Lisa, returning to the kingdom on a horse with the view of its big balls. It's just its chest, never mind. While returning back, Lisa wonders if someone is trying to swipe the throne from right under her nose. With that question, she goes to see her father but stumbles upon the scene of her father in the act of requesting mommy milk from her mother. They quickly shift to seriousness when they notice Lisa's presence. Intrigued and bewildered, Lisa can't help but ask about the sudden change in leadership. To her surprise, King Albert explains that he genuinely believes Souma is better suited to lead the kingdom. He gives Lisa the freedom to decide whether she wants to marry this hero guy or not. Her father advises her to meet Souma first before making any decisions. Lisa, following her father's advice, approaches Souma and is taken aback. He sees her as someone who could assist him, completely oblivious to the fact that she is the princess. Lisa finds herself in a whirlwind of confusion, wondering how a parasocial loser from another world ended up becoming a king. Souma spills the beans, revealing that her father gave him the throne as a way to keep him safe and help with the kingdom's finances. It's a strange deal indeed, but the surprises don't end there. Soma, thinking he is an angel sent by God, expresses that he has no intention of marrying her and plans to give back the throne in a few years, once he's sorted out the country's financial mess. Hearing Soma's story, Lisa can't help but think this guy is just bullshitting. She grills him with questions, wanting to know if he can really pull off what he claims and how he plans to help them financially. Soma, however, has some concrete plans up his sleeve. He reveals that he's already secured funds by exchanging Alfreden's jewelry with a neighboring country, keeping the magical items that could prove useful in times of war. While Lisa is digesting this information far away in the sea, the Duchess of Water, aka the Water Mommy, dispatches her daughter, Canaria, to act as a spy and assess Soma's true capabilities. Coming back, Soma's master plan is to pay the big boys, the Empire, on the very last possible day. Lisa, still skeptical, bombards him with questions, but Soma handles them like a Giga Chad. After their conversation, Lisa realizes that he's determined to turn their financial situation around and exudes a confidence that she finds somewhat convincing. Now, in this fantastical world, massive dragons serve as noble steeds, and even domesticated creatures like beast lizards are pulling wagons. The power of magic reigns supreme, and in the seas, sea beasts are harnessed as battleships. Everything operates without the aid of technology, as the land is far from experiencing an industrial revolution. Soma, the king of this magical realm, spends his mornings chilling on his majestic throne. One fine day, the peace is disrupted by the arrival of a pope who delivers news that Soma needs to undergo an aptitude test. Now, the purpose is to determine if Soma is genuinely a magic-wielding ruler or just a cucklord. The pope, seemingly in a hurry to sort out the king's magical legitimacy, escorts Soma to a strange statue that coincidentally bears a resemblance to your friend when he spots a girl. With a bit of ceremony, the Pope urges Soma to place his hand on the statue and attempt to channel his magical abilities. To Soma's surprise, as he touches the statue, he discovers a unique magical ability: the power to copy his consciousness into objects. These objects then behave as if they were him. Imagine the things you could do with it, wink wink. Now, when Lisa pays a visit to Soma's office, she's taken back by the sight of him using his magic to control a pen, effortlessly filling out forms. Soma proudly explains his magical prowess, naming it Living Poltergeists. Bro could have come up with anything, but he chose Living Poltergeist for his powers. Anyways, Soma has one brain cell, so he's using this power only for his paperwork for now. He also tells Lisa that the paperwork involves untapped money, and he's meticulously delving into budgeted items that might have been missed, mispriced, or mishandled. Soma informs Lisa that if any funny business is uncovered during the financial investigation, the culprit will be held responsible for paying it back. And if they fail to do so, well, off to the magical kingdom's jail they go. Lisa can't help but feel a sense of concern about Soma's motives for doing all this. Maybe he's playing the long game to get that you know what I mean. On the other side of the castle, King Albert's wife casually inserts something into his ear hole, as they contemplate the budding connection between Soma and Lisa. Meanwhile, back at Soma, he's diligently working on paperwork when his tired eyes land on Lisa, peacefully asleep. Now, here's where things take a slightly creepy turn. Soma, unable to resist the allure of Lisa's cute sleep, decides to stalk her while she's sleeping. Lisa's internal sleep creep detector goes off, thankfully, and she wakes up to find Soma watching her. In a rather odd confession, this weirdo admits that he likes watching girls sleep. Lisa, understandably uncomfortable, asks him to back the fuck off. Okay, she didn't say that, I just made this up. Soma, attempting to change the mood, takes Lisa outside to show her something. They hop on a horse with Soma sitting behind Lisa, though she feels nothing significant given Soma's two-incher situation down there. The horse ride leads them to a cotton farm, where Soma explains the economic problem that too much farmland growing cotton has led it to depreciation due to an excess in supply compared to demand. You guys know economics, right? Or do you think printing more money is the way to go? Anyways, Lisa is impressed with Soma's insight and can't help but feel a sense of concern. She worries that Soma might one day return to his previous life and leave her behind. After their venture in the cotton fields, Soma and Lisa decide to grab lunch. However, Soma starts yapping about something, but Lisa ignores him like you ignore the homeless asking for spare change. While engrossed in their meal, a strikingly handsome man approaches them. Lisa's nerves kick in as he addresses her as a queen. She introduces him as Sir Ludwig Arx and the captain of the Royal Guard to Souma. Ludwig praises Souma for his financial prowess and casually asks if he could join them for lunch, and they agree. Seated with them, Ludwig spills the beans about Alfred's advisors, labeling them as pretty trash. He boldly points out that they were the root cause of all of Alfred's problems in the first place. Suggesting a solution, Ludwig recommends that Souma gather a new pack of advisors, ones without the ineptitude that plagued their predecessors. Now at the tea session, Souma shares with Lisa his plan to use the gemstone broadcast to recruit more individuals for his cause. So Lisa informs him that the reception environment in the castle's gemstone room is set up in a way that anything spoken there would be heard by everyone in the kingdom. Following their discussion, they make their way to the castle's gemstone room, ready to address the entire kingdom. Souma initiates a broadcast to share his message. In his speech, he draws inspiration from the teachings of his hero, Cao Cao, expressing that he would hire anyone with an exceptionally useful skill regardless of their age, social background, or influence. The announcement resonates deeply with the locals, sparking inspiration throughout the entire kingdom and the regions of the dukes. Motivated and ready to compete, people from all walks of life eagerly prepare to showcase their skills. Even Canaria, the water mommy daughter, and a mysterious caped figure take notice of Souma's call for talent. You see, in this enchanting world, there's no Duolingo to blackmail people into learning a new language, but surprisingly, Souma finds that he can effortlessly converse with the locals in Japanese, and they understand him perfectly. Even more astonishing, he can read and write in their language. Souma is confused, wondering if he came imbued with an auto-translate feature from his world. Meanwhile, in Lisa's room, she wakes up with the thoughts of swirling in her mind. She wonders whether Souma would remain king if she agrees to marry him. Curiosity and concern knit together as Lisa wonders about Souma's family, or more specifically, if he had a girlfriend back in his world. The fear of him returning to an old flame and leaving her behind gnaws at her. Despite the trust she's beginning to place in him, the uncertainty of Souma's connections in his previous life casts a shadow over Lisa's thoughts. As Lisa finds herself lost in thoughts, a maid hurries into her room, breaking the reverie. The maid informs her that Souma is hosting a special function to honor those who stood out among the individuals he had recruited. Urged to hurry her ass up, Lisa is reminded to prepare herself promptly to attend the event. Simultaneously, individuals from all corners of the region gather at the castle, eager to showcase their exceptional talents in front of Souma. Then, like X Factor judges, Souma is on his throne while Lisa stands beside him, ready to assess the performances. The entire event is broadcasted live on the Gemstone Network, allowing the entire kingdom to witness the display of skills and the acknowledgement of outstanding individuals. Among the talented individuals who showcase their skills, Souma carefully selects 5 of them deemed the most remarkable. Among them is Alicia, a hot dark elf with a commanding presence. Alicia, being an army brat, possesses formidable military prowess. However, what sets her apart is her selfless nature. She refuses any traditional reward for her services. Instead, Alicia expresses a unique request. She seeks Souma's help in her hometown forest. There, the trees are thinning and young trees are struggling to grow. Her desire is not for material gain, but for Souma's wisdom, the intellectual kind, not the white gooey one, you dirty-minded weebs. Souma, ever the strategist, explains to Alicia the intricacies of the forest troubles. He details how when trees become too overgrown and dense, they end up interfering with each other, blocking essential sunlight and causing the thinning issue. Alicia, impressed by Souma's profound knowledge about the tree revival, finds herself inspired by his insights. In a moment of deep gratitude and allegiance, Alicia kneels down and pledges her unwavering loyalty to Souma, vowing to do anything for him. Alicia recognizes the urgency of the situation and pleads with Souma to come to the god-protected forest as soon as possible. She emphasizes the importance of him sharing his wisdom on the matter of thinning to help revive and restore the once thriving woodland. On another side of the magical kingdom, the Water Mommy, the Duchess of Water, receives a spy update of the Alfredin Kingdom and a note from her daughter Canaria. The information from the spy update hints at the political and strategic movements within the kingdom. Back at the castle, the Prime Minister makes a call for the next individual in line, and a beautiful figure with 2 jiggly melons step forward. This girl introduces herself as Junadoma, possessing not only beauty, but also a mesmerizing singing voice. Juna is hailed as the greatest songstress of their time, and her talent traces back to the ancestral roots as they were loyalists. Lorelists are basically monsters of the sea, who beguiled soldiers with their badunkers and a beautiful singing voice. Intrigued by Junodoma's Lorelei heritage and his girly voice fetish, Souma can't resist asking her to perform a song. However, all Juna remembers are old boomer songs, so she suggests Souma give her one. Souma, always resourceful, decides to introduce her to a new tune. He pulls out his mobile phone and loads up a Japanese song for her to hear. After listening to it just once, Juna surprises everyone by flawlessly performing the song on the live broadcast. Her enchanting voice, coupled with the jellos, really inspires the people and touches their glow sticks. Now in the Principality of Amadarnia, someone else is keeping a keen eye on Souma, impressed by how he handled the situation with Alicia. Back to the X Factor, next in line is a fat-ass nervous guy. What the hell is going on here? His name is Pancho Panacotta, and in order to come forward, he straight up falls in front of Souma. This man is the perfect example of an anti-Rizzler. Anyways, Pancho Panacotta's unique talent is being a really good eater. Having traveled all around the world, he prides himself on trying to find every kind of food and specialty imaginable. Despite his apparent nervousness, Pancho has indeed eaten just about everything there is to be eaten. I bet he hasn't eaten, never mind. To the surprise of the nervous fatty, Souma expresses genuine excitement about meeting him. Souma believes that Pancho's lavish, unsparing gluttony, in simpler terms, his exceptional eating prowess, holds the potential to save the kingdom. Continuing the country's tradition of bestowing new names upon VIPs, Souma decides to rename Pancho the Ishizuka. This act of honoring a man previously perceived as useless inspires many others to step forward and audition for Souma's cause. Next in line, a dark-haired man, Hakuya, who has been nominated by someone else. Hakuya possesses a remarkable power, an excellent memory, and vast knowledge, driven by a desire to contribute to Souma's cause. Hakuya expresses his wish to become Souma's advisor and a right-hand man. His admiration stems from witnessing Souma's compassionate treatment for Ishizuka and the man with his exceptional eating prowess. Last but not least, the final contestant, Tomo Looney, enters the scene. A lollycat girl that undoubtedly leaves weebs bricked up with excitement. However, Tomo's story takes a somber turn as she is homeless, her main power lying in her ability to communicate with beasts and animals. Tomo, clearly anxious and nervous, catches the attention of the ever-resourceful Souma. Noticing her discomfort, Souma, the Rizzler himself, kneels in front of her so that she can whisper into his ear without the need to speak so loudly. As she leans in and shares her thoughts, Souma's eyes widen in surprise. Back in his office, Souma, accompanied by Lisa and Mark, discovers that Tomo Looney, the lolly cat girl, isn't just capable of communicating with animals and beasts, she possesses the rare ability to talk to demons as well. The revelation marks a significant breakthrough, as there had previously been no means of communication with devils in this world. In their magical world, there exists a notable disparity in how different races perceive devils. The term devils encompasses beings that fall into both human and animal categories. This world is populated by various races, including elves, beastmen, god beasts, and many more. Monsters or devils are creatures that amalgamate various forms into a single being. One major challenge in conflicts with demons is the inability to understand demon language, creating significant barrier to communication. However, with the introduction of Tomo Looney, a newfound hope emerges. Her ability to talk to demons offers the potential for negotiation and ultimately the possibility of achieving peace. As the news of Tomo Looney's rare power to communicate with demons sinks in, Souma finds himself sweating his ass off over the potential consequences. The fear that his information could leak to other kingdoms, sparking a full-blown war as they seek to acquire Looney's powers for themselves, looms over him. Then our boy Mark comes up with a solution and suggests that Souma can adopt Looney to keep her close and protect her powers. However, Souma can't just adopt her without first getting married. Seizing the moment, Souma casts a creepy glance at Lisa, sending shivers down her spine. Fearing for her life, Lisa quickly jumps in, suggesting an alternative that would spare her from Souma's potentially creepy advances. She proposes that her parents could adopt Looney instead, emphasizing how wonderful it would be as she had always wished for a little sister. Despite Lisa's quick thinking, Tomo Looney expresses hesitation, as she's already a family waiting for her at a refugee camp. Souma steps forward to reassure Looney, explaining that the adoption proposal is primarily for her protection. To sweeten the deal, Souma suggests that as Looney's adopted sister, her family could live in the castle with them. With this assurance, Looney agrees to the arrangement. Later in the Lisa's room, Souma is found engaging in a femboy activity, sewing a baby doll. Lisa, bewildered, can't fathom why Souma, who usually deals with the state affairs, is sewing a doll in her room. Souma, being his quirky self explains that everyone in the state affairs office is diligently working and he finds it challenging to relax with downtime around them. So, like a femboy in a relaxed moment, he chooses Lisa's room for his unconventional sewing session. Lisa questions why he doesn't adopt the Sigma lifestyle and asks her father to vacate his room. Souma, always with a practical answer, explains that it's more efficient for him to sleep in the state affairs office. Taking the conversation in a different direction, Souma inquires about Looney's well-being. Lisa reassures him, mentioning that Looney is doing well and even winning over Lisa's mother. Their discussion is interrupted by a knock on the door and a maid enters. However, upon seeing Souma and Lisa together, she misinterprets the situation as naughty stuff, giggles, and leaves. After a while, the same maid informs him that Pancho has returned from a gathering mission. Excited by the news, Souma wastes no time and immediately initiates a broadcast to the entire kingdom. In the broadcast, Juna and Pancho greet everyone and introduce the session as the King's Brilliant Lunch from Parnman Castle. Juna takes a moment to provide a short advertisement for her upcoming singing gig. Following this, Pancho steps in to announce that the purpose of the program will be revealed by none other than the King Souma. As the acting king of the kingdom, Souma takes the virtual stage and addresses the kingdom. He begins by expressing his apologies to the people for the ongoing food shortages, emphasizing that this issue has persisted even before his time as king. In the wake of Soma's apologies, a moment of shock lingers among the viewers. However, Souma swiftly shifts gears, acknowledging the need to move forward. He lays out a plan to address the food shortages by emphasizing the immediate increase in food production, acknowledging that it'll take time. To bridge the gap until the food shortage issue is resolved, Souma reveals the purpose of the broadcast. The focus will be on introducing the people to foods they are unaccustomed to eating in the nation. This innovative approach aims to diversify their diet, offering a temporary solution to the immediate challenges they face. Among these foods include horse balls, cow balls, I'm reading the wrong list, never mind, and the list included octopuses, burdock roots, and giant locusts, yum protein. The broadcast features Souma demonstrating how these ingredients can be transformed into delicious seafood recipes, captivating the audience with his culinary skills. Viewers are amazed as they witness the preparation and taste the resulting dishes. Souma's innovative recipes not only provide a solution to the immediate food shortage, but also inspire and delight the people of the kingdom. As everyone savors the flavors, Souma himself can't help but feel a wave of nostalgia, his eyes teary as he remembers dishes from his past life. The climax of the broadcast approaches as the last dish is presented. The companions' eyes widen, their anticipation building as they stare at the dish in front of them, wondering what unexpected thing awaits them in it. As we close the book on the first 4 episodes of how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom, we've journeyed through Souma Kazuya's unexpected ascension to power and his first steps towards reforming a kingdom with wisdom, wit, and a touch of realpolitik. From economic strategies to social reforms, Kazuya's unconventional approach to kingship challenges the fantasy norms and invites us to ponder what does it truly mean to rule. Thank you for joining us on this intriguing expedition into governance, strategy, and the power of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our recap and insights, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you won't miss out on our next adventure into the realms of anime. Do you agree with Kazuya's methods, or do you foresee challenges ahead? Let's discuss in the comments below. Until our paths cross again in the kingdom of Elfriden, keep thinking, strategizing, and imagining a better world. See you in the next video.